Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Shushan. The top stories first. Ruling party calls Secretariat meeting today morning, Prime Minister to discuss cabinet reshuffling and party unification. Road accidents take place despite awareness campaigns, 75% of accidents due to drivers' negligence. Government's lackluster preparation for Visit Nepal 2020, stakeholders doubt achieving target for 2 million tourists. Cyclone Bulbul smashes into India and Bangladesh coasts. The disaster leaves 14 people dead. And Liverpool crushes Manchester City in the Premier League, moves 8 points clear atop of the table. And now the news in detail. Nepal Communist Party is scheduled to hold its secretariat meeting today morning. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has called the meeting at 9 a.m. to discuss the issues of reshuffling the cabinet after 20 months of formation of the government. The meeting will also discuss about the party unification and the upcoming by-election. Prime Minister Oli has held talks with another co-chair of the ruling party, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, regarding the cabinet reshuffling yesterday as well. The Prime Minister has already asked all the employees of his secretariat to resign within a month. Sources said that the Prime Minister Oli is preparing to reshuffle the cabinet before the November 30 by-elections. It has been learned that the Prime Minister wants to reshuffle the cabinet due to unsatisfactory performances by most of the ministers. Foreign Minister Pradeep Gewali has said that all border-related disputes with India will be solved diplomatically. Minister Gewali said that the government has ample evidences to show how the recently released political map of India has included Nepali territories as their own. The government will make all efforts to reclaim the encroached lands back from India based on those available evidences, said Minister Gewali, reminding that the government already has national consensus required to solve this issue. Minister Gewali said that the government will do everything possible to gain back the lands. Receiving the memorandum submitted by All Nepal Free Student Union associated with the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Minister Gewali clarified that the new political map published by India shows its hegemony and is in no way acceptable to Nepal.
हाम्रो सिमाना कुटिया लिम्पियाधुरा र लिम्पियाधुराबाट बग्ने कुटिया नदी हो भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ बलियो बढी त्यसका हाम्रा प्रमाणहरू भेटिन्छन् किनभने कुनै पनि नदीको बारेमा त्यसको मूल मुहान कहाँ हो भन्ने कुरा टुङ्गो लगाउने चाहिँ त्यसका तीनटा आधारहरू हुन्छन्.
Coordinator of AAN and FSU, Ain Mahar, and Deputy Coordinator Ranjit Tamang drew the attention of Minister Gewali to provide relief to the citizens residing in Kalapani and Susta.
म परराष्ट्र मन्त्रीलाई एकपटक त्यहाँ भ्रमण गर्नका निमित्त पनि अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु. सुस्तामा जानका निमित्त, कालापानीमा जानका निमित्त. त्यहाँका नेपालीहरूको जीवन अत्यन्तै कष्टकर छ. नागरिकता नेपाली छ, लालपूजा नेपाली छ, तर जीवन नेपाली छ.
AAN and FSU has expressed their gratitude towards Prime Minister KP Oli and Minister Pradeep Gewali for creating a national consensus to resolve the border dispute issues between Nepal and India. Deputy Prime Minister Ishwar Pokhrel has said that the modern Nepal was built on the foundation of the victory over the British Army in the battle at Sindhuliguri. Deputy Prime Minister Pokhrel reminded everyone to remember the Sindhuliguri battle during the unification of Nepal. Participating in the 252nd anniversary to celebrate the victory of the Sindhuliguri battle, Ishwar Pokhrel said the defeat of the British Army at the fort paved the way for the glorious history of Nepal to unfold.
पहल गर्दै नेपाली सेनाले एउटा योजना निर्माण गरेको छ। नेपाल एकीकरणको दौरान प्रयोग भएका देशभरि जति पनि ऐतिहासिक पदमार्गहरू छन् ती सबै पदमार्गहरूलाई जोडेर युनिफिकेसन ट्रेलको अवधारणा प्रस्तुत गरिएको छ।
The program included demonstration of war skills and artilleries by the army. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Leader of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, Bhim Rawal, has stated that the Indo-Nepal Mahakali Treaty should be reviewed as the treaty is faulty. India has been unilaterally utilizing the treaty to take advantage of the Mahakali river water, said Leader Rawal. The treaty should be rectified and Nepal should be able to utilize the water of Mahakali on the basis of equitable sharing, added Rawal.
महाकाली सन्धिबाट हामीले जे जस्तो पीडाको सामना गर्यौं, जे क्षति बेहोर्यौं, तदनुरूप महाकाली सन्धिका प्रावधानहरू कार्यान्वयनमा नगएको र ती त्यत्तिकै थन्केको, भारतले लिनुपर्ने लाभ लिएको तर नेपालले प्राप्त गर्नुपर्ने प्राप्त नगरेको कुरा साँचो कुरा। त्यसका प्रावधानहरू कार्यान्वयन भएका छैनन्। महाकाली सन्धिको बारेमा 10 वर्षमा पुनरावलोकन गर्ने भन्ने त्यहाँ प्रावधान छ। मैले संसदमा सार्वजनिक रूपमा धेरै पटक भने, तपाईको लोकप्रिय कार्यक्रम मार्फत पनि म सम्पूर्ण नेपाली जनताको सम्म भन्न चाहन्छु, त्यो सन्धिको पुनरावलोकन गरिनुपर्छ।
Speaking with JanataTelevision yesterday, Rawal stressed that the government should take a diplomatic approach for reclaiming the water source of Mahakali encroached by the Indian side. Rawal has opined that the ruling government has been relatively stable and also enjoys majority, hence the government should take diplomatic initiations to solve the long-standing disputes. The government cannot make any excuses to get away with this delicate issue regarding national integrity, Rawal added. And now the news from the economic front. The government's plan to bring in 2 million tourists during the Visit Nepal 2020 campaign is an ambitious target. However, lack of any real homework means this number might only remain a figure on paper. Stakeholders say the important aspect that the government has to look at is the mindset of the tourists leaving the country after their visit. A report.
The numbers don't lie. After the formation of a stable government and peace in the country, the number of tourists visiting Nepal has consistently increased. The government has also taken an ambitious goal of bringing in 2 million tourists in the year 2020. Although some actions are being taken for the success of the campaign, the pace of work is not enough. Amidst these apprehensions, the target looks like a difficult one to achieve. The current statistics suggest roughly 1.2 million tourists visit Nepal. The only international airport that is operational right now is the Tribhuvan International Airport, through which the bulk of the tourists enter the country. The private sector has been complaining that the government has shown reluctance to promote the campaign in the international market. The number of tourists might not be the most important indicator. The mindset of these tourists and the message they carry as they leave the country after their visit are equally important, say stakeholders. However, the weak infrastructure, services and promotion has rendered the achievement of the target next to impossible. The government has to initiate the marketing campaign as soon as possible in the international market and create a hospitable environment in Nepal to increase the number of tourists in the long run.
Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. 14 people died and more than 2 million others spent a night huddled in storm shelters as Cyclone Bulbul smashed into the coasts of India and Bangladesh with fierce gales and torrential rains, officials said yesterday. According to AFP, the cyclone packed winds of up to 120 kilometers per hour when it hit late Saturday, closing ports and airports in both countries. 7 people were killed in India's West Bengal state, the Press Trust of India reported, including 2 after uprooted trees fell on their homes and another after being struck by falling branches in Kolkata. An 8th person died under a collapsed wall in nearby Odisha state. In Bangladesh, 6 people were killed, 5 by falling trees, and at least 20 people were injured. Authorities said the cyclone was weakening as it moved inland. Bangladesh's low-lying coast, home to 30 million people, and India's east are regularly battered by cyclones. While the frequency and intensity of the storms have increased, partly due to climate change, the death tolls have come down because of faster evacuations and building of thousands of coastal shelters. India's foreign ministry yesterday rejected reports that the International Atomic Energy Agency, the UN's nuclear watchdog, found traces of uranium at the Iranian site that Israel called a secret atomic warehouse. According to the Reuters, the IAEA confirmed to member states that traces from samples in an undisclosed location taken in February were of uranium that was processed but not enriched. It also said that the explanations provided by Iran so far did not hold water. In 2018, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who vehemently opposed Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, called on the IAEA to visit the site immediately, saying it had housed 15 kgs of unspecified radioactive material that had since been removed. An airplane operated by South Korean Airlines bound for Singapore made an emergency landing in Manila late on Saturday due to an engine problem, a company spokesman said. According to Reuters, the Asian Airlines Airbus 350 plane took off from Incheon in South Korea with about 310 passengers on board and landed in Manila after one of its engines failed. No one was injured in the incident. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Liverpool moved 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League with an emphatic win over the champions Manchester City. In the match of the season of the English Premier League, Liverpool defeated Manchester City by 3-0 as they seized control of the title race. The league leaders have now a clear 8-point lead at the top of the table as Manchester City became the biggest losers of the week to finish on fourth on the table. The game was played at Anfield, Liverpool's home ground, but visitors City started off in the front foot. However, a thumping strike from Liverpool's Brazilian regista Fabinho gave Liverpool the lead in the 6th minute. The second goal came in from a header by Mohamed Salah in the 13th minute as the half ended 2-0. The final nail in the coffin was hit when Sadio Mane scored a diving header in the 51st minute in the second half. A late Bernardo Silva strike gave City some parity as they lost the match 3-1. The loss puts City behind Leicester and Chelsea in the 4th position as Liverpool solidify their position at the top of the table. India defeated Bangladesh in the 3rd of the 3-match T20I series and won the series 2-1. Deepak Chahar, Indian medium pace bowler, produced the best ever T20I's figures of 6 for 7 as India decimated the Bangladesh middle order. Bangladesh were at 1 point 3 for 110 in the 12th over and were on par with the Indian total. Mohammad Naeem scored a blistering 81 of 48 deliveries for Bangladesh. However, a hat-trick by Chahar in the final 2 overs of his bowling ended the Bangladesh fight back as they were bowled out for 144. Earlier, India reached a strong total of 174 with the help of quick-fire half-centuries from Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul. A cameo from Manish Pandey in the end helped India post a formidable target. With the T20I series over, India will now take on Bangladesh in a 2-match test series starting November 14th. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Ruling party calls Secretariat meeting today morning, Prime Minister to discuss cabinet reshuffling and party unification. Road accidents take place despite awareness campaigns, 75% of the accidents due to drivers' negligence. Government's lackluster preparation for Visit Nepal 2020, stakeholders doubt achieving target of 2 million tourists. Cyclone Bulbul smashes into India and Bangladesh coast. The disaster leaves 14 people dead. And Liverpool crushes Manchester City in the Premier League, moves 8 points clear atop the table. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.